everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am coming to you with a review and tutorial using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I really love this palette. I have been using it nonstop since I got it, and I mean, it is just beautiful. I really am enjoying all of the different looks that I'm coming up with using the palette. It's just amazing. It's so much fun. You know, this is probably one of my favorites for this year that has come out that I just can't seem to put down. I'm doing a tutorial for you. I'm also going to be reviewing the product, so let's go ahead and get into the review. The first thing I want to talk about is the packaging. I'm a little disappointed in the packaging simply because, I mean, it is beautiful. It's a really pretty muted kind of pink tone, velvet kind of packaging. The only thing that I have to say about the packaging that has me a little bit worried is that it's not going to stay clean. And, you know, I like keeping, sorry, fixing my hair. It's not going to stay clean. I like my palettes. I like to try and keep them clean. I'm a little bit of a neat freak in that respect. I don't like to see a dirty palette. That drives me crazy. Yeah, I don't think that this is going to stay as pristine as it was. As a matter of fact, it's already kind of starting to show a little bit of staining from me holding it and play, you know, with when I'm swatching stuff and everything, and then I pick it up and I play with it. So that's one of the things that I am finding very disappointing about the palette. Outside of that, though, the actual product inside, these colors are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that. They are just a beautiful set of warm colors. They are totally up my alley. I love the fact that I've got a red and a magenta color. I've also got several different shades of orange in here. I've got a gold. I've even got like a rosy kind of color. I've got bronze. We've got browns. I mean, it is just absolutely perfect. You know, I mean, this is such a versatile palette for me. I mean, I love warm tones. I could definitely travel with this easily, and it would be something that I will use, you know, every day without fail, and come up with something different every day, from a simple eye look all the way up to something very dramatic for nighttime. The one thing I will say though is that I really am sad that there is no rose gold in this palette. I think rose gold would be beautiful. However, and I'm going to geek out a little bit here. However, this particular palette, I mean, they call it the Modern Renaissance for a reason. All of the colors that are in here either harken back or kind of talk, or they kind of represent things from the Renaissance, colors from the Renaissance, the stuff that they used in Renaissance paintings. You know, a lot of these colors are actual paint colors in Renaissance artwork, like red ochre and real gar, which I had to do a little bit of research on this one, and I came to find that this is actually what they used for red and orange, but this is an actual mineral pigment, or at least it was a mineral pigment in the paints that they used in the Renaissance. Cypress umber, that's a really, I remember that, you know, from my art history studies. You know, I mean, all of these colors are very much true to what you would find in Renaissance artwork. I took a lot of art history classes in college. Renaissance art was actually one of my favorites. But anyway, geekiness aside, I mean, the actual eyeshadows themselves are typical Anastasia quality. I've got several of her individual pan shadows. I'm very happy with all of them, and this is my first actual Anastasia palette that I bought that's pre-made. And I am just blown away by how pigmented these colors are and just how easily blendable they are. They are a dream to work with. That's what makes this particular palette such a joy, is that, you know, all of the colors are extremely blendable and soft and buttery. I will say though that they do kick up a bit of powder. As you can tell when you take a look at burnt orange right here, I don't know if you can see, but it's got a lot of little marks from me dipping my brush in there. But you can already see, you know, that I am using these colors quite a bit. I mean, I really do love them. Red ochre is one of my favorites because it is just that beautiful shade of terracotta kind of orange that I love. The Kat Von D has a color very similar to this. And I mean, it's my go-to with that particular palette, just like with here. I cannot say enough good things about this palette and the colors that it has. So I pulled together a tutorial. This is not going to be the only one because I have a couple of other ideas for this particular palette that I want to share with you guys. Someone did ask me to do a tutorial using the palette, so here it is. This is the look that I came up with, so you're going to see that here in a minute. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the palette. It is just absolutely beautiful to me. It is my favorite. It is probably gonna make the, it's gonna make my best of 2016 list, just because I can't get over how beautiful the palette is, and I have been using it non-stop. I would have to say probably for the last 3 weeks since I bought it. So yeah, I mean, this is a definite favorite, and I don't think I've run out of looks for the palette. So I'm going to continue to play with it, but this is the first of 3 looks that I'm bringing you for the palette. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, before I go, just a little bit of a disclaimer. You're going to see a little bit of differences in the video only because I shot the tutorial while getting ready to go to my nail appointment. I ran out of time, and I ended up having to, first of all, I didn't catch myself putting on my lips. The camera was not recording, so I went ahead and re-recorded that. But when you look at that footage, you're gonna see that I've got nail polish on, and in the footage for the actual tutorial, I have no nail polish on. And that's again because I was getting ready to go to a nail appointment, and so I ran out of time, and I had to do my lips when I got back, and I also had to do this introduction and review when I got back. So yeah, that's why you're seeing a little bit of a difference. If you're wondering what color this is, I forgot to check honestly when I was at the nail salon, but I think this is the heat is on. It's a China glaze color, and I wanted something kind of bright and warm because we're in the middle of summer, and so I figured that, a red orange is perfect summer color. So anyway, yeah, small disclaimer there. Sorry about that, but I really wanted to get this video up, and so I went ahead and had to split the shoot. Sorry. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you're subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing and continuing to hang in there with me. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, because that way you'll know when I've got new videos coming up. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about this palette. I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts. I absolutely am head over heels in love with it, and I would love to hear what you think about it as well. So anyway, I will stop yapping and I will get to the tutorial. Thank you everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Okay, so I've already applied my foundation and also have my brows on and applied concealer. Right now what I'm doing is I am taking my Lorac eyeshadow primer and putting that down. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the one that came with the Lorac Pro 2 palette. So I am laying that down, and then I am taking burnt orange and putting that into my crease as a transition color. And I just have to say, look at how pigmented this is. This is just one dip into the eyeshadow pan, and look at how much color I'm getting. So yeah, I love that about this palette. I am taking my MAC, I think it's my MAC blender brush. I'll have it listed down below, and I am just applying the color and trying to get rid of something that's balling up. Then I'm taking tempera, and I am putting that as my brow bone highlight. This particular shadow looks matte in the pan, but actually it is a satin. I think it's got a little bit of a sheen, and I'm okay with that. So now what I'm doing is I am taking and blending my transition into that highlighter color, or into that brow bone color, and just kind of getting rid of any harsh lines and using windshield wiper motions. Then I'm taking Venetian red, and with a flat shader brush, I am laying that down on my inner and outer corners here. I dropped a little bit on my face. It's because I went a little bit crazy with the eyeshadow. Not to worry, if you go in with a light hand, you shouldn't have that problem. But anyway, I'm laying the color down on my inner corner as well as my outer corner. I am going for a halo eye for this particular look. So yeah, just kind of laying down the base and then doing the same thing on the other side. I really love this particular color. I love that reddish pink color. It actually comes off really warm, as a warm red pink. So I really like it, and it's super pigmented. Then I'm going in with Primavera, and applying that to the center of my eye and kind of going in a little bit of a circular motion as I put that color down. And yeah, just very gently laying it onto my eyeball. Again, going for a halo look here, so you know, kind of trying to get that effect, and then going in on the other side, doing the same thing, and kind of just making sure that things are starting to blend a little bit, and I'm laying the color down. But I really, really love this gold shade. Even though this palette doesn't have a rose gold, that gold is actually very nice. So now I'm taking and I am adding a little bit more color on the inner and outer corners. I'm taking red ochre, and I am going to run this in the crease to connect the two sides of my eye. And yeah, just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions, adding that color. And making sure that it's very well blended, and doing it to the other eye as well. You know, creating this halo effect, I really like it. It brings a really nice highlight to the center of your eye. And then, you know, for those of you who have hooded lids, you know, adding this color and kind of bringing it up a little bit higher than your crease, your actual crease, will help to resolve that problem. You know, it helps the color to peek out when your eyes are open. Then I am taking a clean blender brush, and I'm just kind of blending the color, you know, the red ochre into the burnt orange, and just making sure everything looks very seamless. This particular look looks a little bit of a mess right now, but it does come together. It's almost like a smoky eye. It just requires a lot of blending, or at least for me, I wanted to blend it a fair amount because I wanted the colors to just kind of like become a gradient, you know, up the lid. Then taking some more Primavera, and this time with my finger, I'm patting it onto the center of my lid, and this is going to intensify the color a little bit, you know, and then again going in and doing a little bit more blending of the red ochre, and I think I added a little bit more, and then taking the clean brush again, going up and blending everything out in the upper lid. Then I am adding a very thin line, or at least I started to add a very thin line of eyeliner on my eyes. I was kind of going back and forth in my mind at this moment. Do I do a wing? Do I just keep it a line? I am going to be wearing falsies, so I wanted to put down some sort of a black liner because the falsies that I'm using have got a pretty thick black band. So yeah, just laying, you know, putting down the liner color, just being very gentle. This is my Sephora liquid liner. I think it's called Little Black Dress or something like that. And then I decided to go with a wing. And I am drawing out the wing. Now, if you have hooded eyes, the best thing to do with the wing is to take it out, you know, straight. Don't go up. I go straight out. And then, you know, I draw it in, and this will prevent the crease of your eye from wrinkling around that wing and causing it to look, you know, kind of weird. Doing the same thing on the other side. Again, if you notice, I go straight out instead of going up, and then I draw back in. My wings are never really super dramatic, and the reason that I don't do them that way is because, you know, I do have slightly hooded lids, and it ends up making the wing look kind of broken. Next, I'm taking red ochre again, and I am applying it on the lower lid along the lash line, just to bring a little bit of color and dimension to that area. You know, I really just am doing this to provide a little bit of definition. I don't want the under eye to be totally bare. Then I'm adding a coat of mascara. I did not curl my lashes because I am going to be applying false lashes, and sometimes the mascara itself, because of the wand, the shape, it does curl my lashes a little bit. And so if I curl them, then my lashes would tend to get in the way when I apply the falsies. So I'm not curling. And then here I am applying mascara to the lower lash line. I'm using my Huda Beauty Samantha No. 7, which are some of my most favorite lashes. I just love how beautiful and dramatic they are. Then I'm going in and doing a little more blending. I am using my Wet n Wild Highlight Contour Palette in Dulce de Leche, and I'm using the contour shade to apply to the hollows of my cheek. And I'm using my favorite e.l.f. brush. I don't remember what it's called at the moment, but you know, I'll have it listed down below. But yeah, so just putting that on also my forehead, and then also on my chin. I'm taking Sephora's blush in Hey Jealousy, and these blushes from Sephora are so incredibly pigmented. I mean, a very little bit goes a long way. I prefer just barely touching my brush to the blush and then building it up versus going in, you know, really aggressively with my brush and then ending up with too much blush. I prefer, you know, kind of gradually building that up. And then here's the footage of me putting on my lipstick after I've gotten back from doing my nails. I am using MAC's Pro Longwear Liner in Absolutely It, which is a really pretty kind of warm, I don't know, it's kind of like a warm reddish brown. Yeah, just applying that all on my lips. And I don't use lip liner frequently, but this one I thought would look really, really great with the product that I'm about to put on next. But yeah, so I decided to lay that down, and then I am using the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in Chocolate Crepe, which again is another like a red toned brown. I thought it was very complimentary to the eyeshadow. And so yeah, there is the finished look. Thanks everybody. Have a wonderful day.